Welcome back to Bible Study. So glad to have you back with us for another day. In fact, this is the last day of our live Bible study, even though there are 2 more days left in the book. Christmas Eve, Christmas. Today is the last day that we will be here together online, walking through this book, Honest Advent by Scott Erickson, an incredible book. I want to encourage you, if you didn't make your way through it, you can still do this after Christmas. You can do this in the new year. This is a great book, a great study, and it might even be more meaningful for you during those times because there's less going on in your life, right? All of this is brought to you today, and the entire study has been brought to you thanks to the generosity of those who are part of Christ Table. Really want to encourage you to be a part of Christ Table. Go to that URL, christtable.today. Sign up for the email list there. I also want to encourage you to donate. Every couple of months, we send a whole lot of resources through the mail to you to help you with your family's spiritual health, to help you navigate your own spiritual journey. And we would love to have you be a part of what we are doing. But without any further delay, why don't we dig in? Today's title is Attention. And one of the things that we notice during the Christmas season is we don't have enough time to give to everything that we would love to give time to. And so we have to pick and choose where we give our attention. Oftentimes, this will mean repeating traditions of the past, going to specific church services, watching specific movies, making sure that we plan to spend time with family and friends. We can only do so much, and what we choose to give our attention to actually tends to betray within us what we consider or who we consider to be important. And so I thought maybe for today what we would do is take a few moments to consider what we give our attention to during this season. Now, I love this part of the Christmas story, Matthew chapter 2, verse 2. Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star as it rose, and we have come to worship him. This line being given to Herod from who? Well, being given to Herod from the Magi, whom we call the wise men, or perhaps even the 3 kings of the Orient. That's really all words to try to avoid what they really were, and that was astrologers / priests / important people, probably from somewhere in the Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, Babylonian era of ancient times. Why do we think that? Well, they would have known about these prophecies from the Babylonian captivity of the Israelites. So they would have had record of these things. And so perhaps it seems as though they were paying attention. When nobody else seemed to be paying attention to the signs, it seemed as though these individuals, there could have been women, probably was men, probably wasn't only 3 of them, probably were many more than 3 of them who came along for this journey. But no matter how many they were, where they came from, who they were, what their story was, the who, what, when, where, how, why, one thing that we can say for certain is that they, more than the people who were in the backyards of Bethlehem and navigating the streets of Nazareth, these folks were paying attention. They saw the star when it rose. Incredible. Amazing. Scott paints this picture for us today of the intersection of the stars and the birth of a baby. If you were paying attention for the birth of a baby, you would have perhaps seen and noticed that this was occurring, this birth of the Messiah. And apparently, even if you were just paying attention to the stars, you would have seen that this is happening, that this is coming. I think that it is important for us to simply be aware, to pay attention to what's going on around us. God didn't just speak, but God is speaking. Think about that. That God doesn't just speak, but that God is speaking. He spoke through angels. He spoke through Mary. He spoke through the priests, Anna, Simeon. He spoke through shepherds who took the message. And he even spoke through the stars. God is speaking. But are we paying attention? Are we listening? There is a deep knowing that can only come through our participation. I love that. The Magi weren't just paying attention, but they chose to get up off their backsides and do something. They went themselves. Even the story today, Herod, whom they visit, who was 6.5 miles down the road from Bethlehem, doesn't get up and make the journey. He just sends the Magi on along. We have a choice. There are lots of things that we see, but that we aren't willing to put enough energy in to participate, and I would say in turn receive the blessing. They only came to know Jesus, the Messiah, because they were willing to follow the star. They were willing to participate. They noticed it, they paid attention, and then they participated. And because of those two things, their lives were radically changed. Are you paying attention? And then when you see it, whatever it is that God has for you to see, are you doing something about it? They were paying attention. Are you? I want to encourage you this Christmas season as you walk now into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, days which are going to have a ton of distractions. Wonderful distractions, not ever necessarily bad distractions. The things that you're going to be doing and participating in, the mirth, the merrymaking, the celebrations, the gifts, the readings of Luke 2, the foods, the feastings, the candles, all of these things, none of these things are bad or wrong. But God is speaking. And he may be speaking through those things to you. And are you going to hear it and participate? Or he may be speaking aside from those things. And those things may be getting in the way. So all that I'm asking is that you be wise men and wise women, wise people over this season of Christmastide. And that you simply pay attention. And whatever you hear God saying to you, that you, like the Magi, participate. May you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll actually see you for Christmas Eve, hopefully, at 4 o'clock, and then a replay at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and then at 11:45, we'll do a little short welcoming of the new Christmas season. And then we'll be back with you Sunday morning at 9:45 a.m. Eastern as we celebrate through Christmastide and the 12 days of Christmas. Well, until then, happy reading.